Hi, I'm Ron Naus with BK Lighting and Tech Illumination, and I'd like to welcome you to our webinar. Our webinar comes today from our corporate facility here in Madera, California. The subject of our webinar is What's Next. As you probably know, if you're watching this presentation, What's Next has to do with our latest generation of solid-state lighting products sold under the BKSSL brand name. And the details of this webinar are as follows. It will take about 15 minutes. Because it's being recorded, there is no opportunity for questions and answers from you. This recorded version obviously is available offline to anyone who needs to hear it and watch the presentation. And an email version of this presentation is available via PDF if you send me a request, and I'll give you my email address at the end of our presentation. Obviously, the What's Next is in reference to the next edition of our BKSSL catalog. That catalog, which was introduced to our sales network last week, is 116 pages of solid-state lighting products. It's the complete current LED product offering for BK Lighting across 8 major product ranges: flood lighting, sign lighting, etc. In all, there are 84 products in the series. What's Next starts with a review of the capability spreads at the beginning of the BKSSL book. On pages 4 and 5, for example, is a sectional view of the Power of E. The Power of E is the BK proprietary module that basically takes LEDs and makes them scalable and future-proof, allows us to change things like optics and the LED board and the driver modules on the fly so that we can replace failed components, we can change the product with necessity. For example, if I wanted to go from a spot to a floodlight, it's very easy with our BKSSL and Power of E technology. And unlike components that can be purchased off the shelf, BKSSL and the Power of E is completely designed and built by BK Lighting from the ground up. The most important addition to the Power of E pages in the catalog have to do with the addition of Adjust-A-Lume, which is our patent-pending technology introduced in November of 2011, which allow the user to dynamically change the lumen output of a solid-state light fixture without the need for an additional dimming control. In addition to the Power of E, in the BKSSL catalog is also the Power of X. Power of X products are a joint collaboration between BK Lighting and the company called Zaccato. Zaccato makes an LED module that we're using in products within this range. And just like the Power of E, the Power of X is also modular and scalable. So for example, you can replace the optics, you can replace the LED module via quick disconnects. But in addition to those two things, the Power of X takes advantage of Zaccato's patent-pending color intellectual property. Basically, it allows us to have very uniform color point consistency, 3,000, 4,000, 2,700 degree Kelvin color temperatures. They're all very, very close from one module to the next, so you don't see color shift like you do in traditional LED light sources. We'll start with the actual products now that are being added to the BKSSL book in this next edition. The first I'm going to show you comes out of our floodlighting line, and it is Denali. Denali is a high wattage LED floodlight that is the Power of X, powered by Zaccato. On page 10 of our catalog, you'll see the Power of X moniker, which denotes that this product is using that X chip. Denali is a modular product, and it's available in 3 unique color temperatures for the white value LEDs, 2,700 Kelvin, 3,000, and 4,000 degrees K. In addition to the modular LEDs, there are modular optics, and all of our Power of X comes with 3 basic spot, flood, and wide flood optics, 20, 40, and 60 degrees respectively. And then you have the ability to add additional lenses like rectilinears or spread or soft focus lenses to further change the beam controls. All Power of X products are line voltage input, which is 120 through 277 with a remote driver. And the drivers are inserted into one of several different power supplies shown here on page 11. You use Denali either on a power canopy or with an HP2 in the ground. You could remote your driver in a NEMA 3R box called an RM or in a universal power module remote. The right-hand side picture shows a power pipe 2, which is a very clean way to install Denali into a landscape. That's the idea behind the modular-based Power of X system. The most prevalent fixtures throughout the book are using the Power of E technology, which was the first two-page spread. While I don't have any new Power of E products to show you today, the most important considerational change is that all Power of E's are now adding 2700 degrees Kelvin to the module. So in the example shown on screen, which is a ring mount mini micro, the arrow is pointing to the 2.7K or 27K module that's been added to the Power of E. Just like X, E is also modular. You can get optics that are interchangeable as well as those LEDs. The most impressive change is in Adjust-A-Lume. Adjust-A-Lume was introduced separately, so I'm not going to go too deeply into the details here. Sufficiently though, Adjust-A-Lume is the third type of LED technology being demonstrated in the BKSSL book. Just like E, Adjust-A-Lume is available with 3K, 2700, or 4K LEDs, all under the Adjust-A-Lume brand. And the optics are modular. In this case, the integral artist star you're looking at is available with things like narrow spot, spot, medium flood, wide flood optics, and they are also color-coded. If you see the dots on the right-hand side of each optics, the red, green, the blue dots, those are all indicating what optic is visible through the lens. So I don't have to open the product to see if I have a spot or a flood distribution. The next product addition comes in the path and area lighting section. Two new products here. They are both louvered faceplates in a path and a bollard star format. Now we've had path and bollard stars for a long time in LED. The louvers are new, and that's just a different way to clean up the faceplate, to get rid of the eyelid, and those products are shown on page 42 and 3 of the new BKSSL book. Unlike the other modular optics you've seen to date, path lights are typically only rectilinear distributions. In other words, we want very wide lateral throw, and we want that throw to be forward so we can light up a sidewalk or a pathway. And for that reason, these two products, they don't have interchangeable modules that lets you get different beam distributions out the front of the product. The next fixtures come in our recessed ground mount section, starts on page 48 of the book, and they are HP2 and CO2 in-grades. These are part of our precision family. The HP2 on the left is a flush faceplate that allows us to insert the product right to grade, either flush into concrete or pavers in the dirt. And the CO2 on the right is a flanged faceplate that has a little bit bevel of an angle you can notice, and that beveled faceplate overhangs the housing by about 1/4 of an inch, so it covers up the hole that we would make to do the rough-in housing. HP2 and CO2 are on pages 50 and 51 of the book, and just like the other two of them have very familiar names. One is the Catskill series. Those of you that know the line well know that Catskill has been around for almost 20 years. Catskill started out as halogen. It worked its way up to metal halide and is now available with this Power of X LED chip. First time I want to show you a deviation from the book. The printed catalog says that Catskill is available with a 15-watt Power of X module, where in reality it got thermally tested and approved recently up to 25 watts. And that testing was done after the catalog went to press. So to be conservative, we only put 15 watts in the book. But all the submittals and the catalog online on the website shows 25 watt. And that's really important to understand in context, because every one of our LED products gets LM79 tested for photometry and for spectral power distribution, for color temperature, for CRI. And all of those tests are based on LED modules that are themselves LM80 certified. In addition, when we do our testing, it is always done in situ so that we know that our products will perform in an installed environment and not just pass a bench test in a lab. And so when we started the product here, we didn't know that it would pass at 25 watts in situ, and that's why you see the deviation here from the catalog. The second product in the range is called Olympus. Olympus is the twin up-down cylinder, the companion piece to the Catskill which precedes it. And Olympus also uses the Power of X and comes with those interchangeable optics and the color temperatures that you saw. Unlike Catskill, though, Olympus only passes with 15 watts up and down. So this is a 30-watt product total max. And the last product on our Surface is the Denali Surface downlight. And this is a product brand new to the book. This is the second time I'm going to tell you that the thermal testing came back better, and so we're also selling this in a 25-watt version in addition to the 15 watts shown in the catalog. The Surface Mount Denali is, again, a Power of X product. The catalog itself has a QR code on the back cover right next to the BK Lighting name. The QR code drives you to the website on the right, which is the BKSSL.com website. We have two primary websites that we use here at BK Lighting for solid state. The first is called BKSSL.com, and there you get to explore the product range and see things extrapolated, see all the components as they plug into one another, and really use it as an educational tool to illustrate for your customer why they'd want a 12-volt product in the Power of E or a line volt product in the Power of X. And the QR code directs you right there. I'm going to show you a page from the book called Louvered Yacht Star as an example of the other keyword strategy, which is shown in the text in the red letters. I've blown it up here for scale. Keyword YSL-LED. If you would type that into the keyword box on the bklighting.com website, that keyword would take you exactly to the Yacht Star Louvered product page, where you could download photometry or submittals, or as an agent, even pricing, green source rebate, replacement parts. All of the product data that you would need would be available through that keyword. Last couple points, there are more than 70 dynamic images in the catalog, beautiful installation photography, and all of those images were credited to the photographers who took the shots, as well as the design credit for the project that those shots were contained in. We felt it very important to give kudos and thanks to our friends who helped us to develop the collaterals for this book as it was in development over the last 2 years. Final point is that every product in this catalog is produced using our Green Source initiative, which essentially where sustainable manufacturing processes are employed. We're using photovoltaic on our roof for the power we use to build the product. All of our materials are recycled and recyclable. We're very sustainable here in the way we operate our business. Most importantly, though, LED products qualify for up to 2 rebates, which are factory direct. The first is an efficacy rebate. We'll actually reduce the sale price of an LED fixture if it replaces an older technology out there in the field. So if somebody has an incandescent or a halogen landscape floodlight and they want to replace it with an LED product from BK Lighting, we'll give them a discount through the efficacy dividend. The second rebate is called recycling, and if we get the old products back at end of life, we'll give the end user a second rebate as well for recycling. Final point is that every product in this book is proudly made here in the United States. So it complies under the TARP regulations, the ARRA Act, for USA credits, for any of that federal money that's still floating around to help reduce the cost of fixtures. And beyond that, we're very happy to make things still here in California. That's about it. The recap of what's next, very simply, a 116-page catalog, which is now out and available in the marketplace, that shows a complete line of LED products across our 8 product families: floodlights and sign lights, path area, recessed, architectural surface, and recessed products, as well as custom designs. There are 8 brand new products contained within that catalog, which is now in its next generation printing. And everything in the book is 2700 Kelvin, 3000, and 4000 Kelvin white, as well as that adjustable lumen feature for the Power V. These are the people responsible for getting you product information from BK. Your 2 regional managers, Karen and Ryan, are on top. Becky, our marketing manager, is at the bottom left, and yours truly, Ron, is on the bottom right. All these email addresses will be included in the PDF that's available. If you have any questions, though, please feel free to either give us a phone call or send us an email, and we'll answer your questions offline. Thank you for listening to this webinar.